Okay, talk briefly about our last game. I was proud of the way our offense responded. What really stood out to me is 0 turnovers. I don't think we punted. We did have the one penalty that we got to clean up. We only had a few negative yards, so I thought that overall was a big key to the game. I think we got better from the week before. We got to continue to improve this week. Questions?
Brendan?
With the offense being as efficient as it was there like a common theme, a thread that you guys were able to do to continue moving the ball? And it wasn't as explosive, I guess, as normal too.
Right.
So it seemed,
Yeah, and you got to give them credit. They had a week, off, 2 weeks to prepare. They were keeping things in front of them pretty good. That is what they presented to us. We were fortunate enough to stay ahead of the sticks for the most part. That was really part of the plan with that. But yeah, I mean we're at our best when we're explosive plays. There's no doubt. But overall, just the way the game unfolded and everything, I liked the way that they took care of business, especially in the second half.
How did Jacob Rizzi and Andre Otto perform in college?
Yeah, it was good. We had some guys banged up. That's what happens this time of year. Both those guys went in there, answered the call. Obviously, Rizzi, we feel like he's another starter too. He's played a lot of football, and Otto was good for him to get in there and do his thing too.
You talked last week about having to examine what you do when you go on the road because of the last couple of games. When you've had teams that have had success on the road throughout your career, is there a commonality about those teams that are able to do that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can always look at experience and all that, but I just think, just mindset and our approach. I mean, we got to do a better job offensively. Got to come out the gate faster and play a little more free too, and obviously short week, a short week's usually, you're maybe a little simpler, which on the road to let our guys play fast and not think about so much. I think that'll be a big key too.
Liam?
You coached a lot of good receivers, but Deuce, just the ability that he has, he goes in there in 1,000 yards. What have you seen?
Yeah, he's a real guy. I mean, he's a difference maker. He's a guy that we need to try to find as many ways we can in one-on-one situations to give him the ball. But been real proud of him. He had another big game and has been playing without the ball better too.
Brendan?
is Tommy starting, has gotten further removed from injury, more confident in some of his movements?
Yeah, he did look a little quicker, at times. There was a couple times he took off, kind of looked like, he had the fresh legs back in the first year. So we're strategically trying to get him fresher to the games. I mean, he's taken a lot of hits like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, but he is a very durable guy. He's a very tough guy, and he's moved around pretty well this week too.
What stands out about NC State on defense?
They play extremely hard. You turn the film on, they play extremely hard. I think they're really good against the run. They've given up some passing yards and all that, but I think they've got some good players, and I think they've got good coaches.
Now that you're seeing Sam Singleton get more and more carries, are you seeing him take strides in those carries?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, as things are starting to slow down, he's starting to press it a little bit longer and make his cuts. But he's done a really good job, just a true downhill back, and him and Ooze right there really come on. The second half of the season.
With the offensive line, obviously all five will not be, the starters will not be here next year. Who have you seen from the backup group, the young guys, that you think have a chance to be?
I think if you look at all five of those guys in our second unit that have played significant numbers of snaps, compared to probably most, I think all five of those guys, have done a good job. They've grown, and excited to work with those guys.
With both Sam and who's getting, I think, double-digit carries.
Who's that?
Sam and
Okay.
Who,
Yeah.
They both got double-digit carries. Was that by design? Was that game flow? And for both of them to have that extended workload.
Yeah.
Like how did they do durability wise?
Yeah, no, that was by design. Both those guys, explosive guys, can break tackles. And this is late in the season. I mean, they're no longer young guys. And I think the game slowed down for them a little bit right there, but that was by design.
Aslan?
I don't know how many of these non-Saturday games you had when you were in the SEC, but what just makes a Thursday or Friday night games for everybody around the country seemingly just a much more difficult challenge?
Yeah, I think that the challenge for us is a short week, but when you got to go on the road. But sometimes you go on the road, like you have a little more time on the plane, other things like that to really zero in and focus. So that'll be the plan for our guys. The question was asked earlier, like our approach, we got to be better. We hadn't played good football on the road offensively. We need to be better. That's our guys got to answer the call, and that's really been our message.
You talked about trying to get Deuce in more one-on-one opportunities, but obviously that gets tougher with the success he has.
Yeah.
Do you just need other guys to step up, or what do you?
Well,
what do you do to make that happen?
I think every game plays out different. How they play, how well we're able to run the football. When you're able to run the football, you're going to get one-on-ones regardless. So I think it's really, all the above. But we just need to do that. He's one of the best receivers in the country, if not the best, and we need to continue to find ways to give him the ball.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just, as far as the other receivers that haven't been as involved, are there things they need to be doing, or does Tommy need to be looking for them?
No, I think if you really look, we've had pretty good bit of injuries at the wide receiver position, and at times in the season we did everything we could to get them the game. And we're starting to get a little healthier. I think Boggs is coming back. Lil is getting healthier. I think so. I think it's a combination of all. And then of course Danzy, with the ball down the field, has really been electric. With that. And so it's just a matter of getting our guys healthy. We have a good idea of what their strengths are. Me as a coordinator, I'm trying to play to their strengths, trying to call plays that will help them be successful. But a lot of it has to do with with our injuries. We just hadn't been had all of our guys 100%, throughout. But that still is a good receiving group. I'll tell you that.
Last one.
With the way you guys played on offense last weekend and the way that team played on defense last weekend, how do you keep your guys grounded? Do you want them to feel that sense of confidence?
Oh, we're going to get their best. I mean, there's no doubt. We're going to get their best, and there'll be a different defense. They're playing at home. Our guys understand that, and we got to answer the call. And I think the motivating factor for us is we hadn't got it done on the road. We need to worry about us. We need to get it done on the road, but we're expecting their best. And like I said earlier, they got some good players. They got good coaches.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, guys.